So imagine this, Rashee Rice explodes back onto the field this week after a 6-game suspension. Could he instantly reclaim his spot as Patrick Mahomes' go-to weapon? Or will those missed reps show up in rusty routes and dropped balls? That's the edge of your seat question hanging over Kansas City right now, and it's got us pretty fired up to break it down for you. Let's go.
Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. If you enjoy any of the content, do us a favor, hit the like button and subscribe.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up.
So let's start with what this return really means, not only for Rashee Rice, but this Chiefs offense. Rice is suiting up for the first action of the 2025 season, fresh off that suspension announced on August 27th that's kept him sidelined since the end of training camp. And look, it's not just the suspension games he's missed, it's also the fact that this is his first in-game action since his knee injury that ended his season last year in Week 4 versus the Chargers. So yeah, we finally get to see Rice take the football field in a regular season NFL game for the first time in 384 days.
Whispers are already flying around about his conditioning. Is he really football ready? Or has all that time away kind of dulled his explosiveness? Rice isn't letting that slide. In a recent clip, he's all intensity, staring down the camera and saying he's been grinding harder than ever, feeling sharper and more motivated. Let's take a look.
Looking forward to this, probably for, I think it's been like 380-something days I haven't played a regular season game, and despite the regular season, we still have a whole off season before that where we were training super hard to get ready for that prior season. So, I mean, it's been a long time coming, and the time's finally here.
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes there. He's pretty horned up, which makes us horned up, which makes you horned up, that Rashee Rice is going to go out in his debut and have a big game with several big plays.
So horny, so horny.
But hold up, don't swallow that blue chew just yet, because Rice's comeback isn't happening in a vacuum. But who's the most likely to feel the squeeze?
Yeah, that's going to be none other than Tyquan Thornton, the Chiefs' underrated speed demon who's been quietly turning heads while Rashee Rice was out. Thornton's racked up an impressive 215 snaps through 6 weeks, starting strong with 44 in Week 1, 45 in Week 2, peaking at 55 in Week 3 before tapering off to just 17 last week versus the Lions. So what's made him stand out? It's his average depth of target. It's pretty ridiculous at 25 yards. That leads all NFL wideouts with at least 5 targets. Way ahead of the next guy, which is the Colts' Adonai Mitchell at 20.7. And get this, Mahomes' QBR when slinging it to Thornton, yeah, it's a scorching 134. He's been a deep threat beast, mixing it up with 60 snaps from the slot, that's about 37%, and 104 out wide. Completions have gone deep too, 38 yards, 49 yards, 33, and a 34-yarder, but last week versus the Lions, he was blanked on the deep ball. So the big question buzzing now, with Rice sliding back into the lineup, does Thornton see his offensive snaps plummet, or does he hold on to that role he's carved out so far?
So this week, as the Chiefs take on the Raiders, which is a divisional game that's already got huge playoff implications since the Chiefs need to win the West, the stadium's going to be flat out electric, and Rashee Rice is going to be out there proving that he can be effective from snap one. But if Thornton's reps do dip on offense, here's where it gets intriguing. Special teams coordinator Dave Tobe spilled some insight, calling Thornton a threat as a kick returner and a punt returner, plus a speed demon in the kickoff coverage. That speed, it's elite. The kind that can flip a game on a single return. Take a listen.
Thornton's going to, I can use him a little bit more now, which would be great. He's a threat as a kick returner and punt returner. Also in the coverage, kickoff coverage, he's got a lot of speed. So we're going to have, there's a chance we could have 7 wide receivers up. So, 6, 7, or that puts Thornton back into that spot, as you guys understand.
So yeah, that could be the lifeline if his wide receiver duties shrink, keeping him involved and impacting the game in ways that don't show up in the fantasy stats.
But let's not stop there. Here's what we're really wondering, and I bet you are too. If Thornton shifts more to special teams, how exactly do the Chiefs maximize that blazing speed? Will we see him breaking off huge returns that set up Mahomes for short fields, but dampening the effects of Nico Remigio and Brashard Smith, which doesn't seem super likely? Or maybe even some creative packages where he pops up on offense and gadget plays like they mostly use with Xavier Worthy. Maybe this could allow Worthy to take less hits and allow his shoulder to heal up the best it can throughout the season. The answers are coming fast because we're one day away from the Raiders matchup, and trust me, it's the kind of storyline that could reshape the Chiefs' season. A bad performance could take away all of our momentum we fought so hard to rebuild.
So what do you guys think? Will Rice hit the ground running? And will Thornton adapt to all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to read them.
Oh yeah, right off the rip, I'm getting that leather and tobacco vibe and that bourbon vanilla. This stuff right here, straight fire, baby. You work hard, you play hard, and we know Chiefs Kingdom cheers hard. And when you do that, it's obvious you work up a little stank. I mean, come on, we're stinky humans who survive on barbecue and Patrick Mahomes highlights. But you don't always want to be at musty level 10. We don't. We're trying to smell nice. And for us, it's this right here, Mando, baby. You wake up, you shower, you start your day, but eventually you start to get a little, ripe. You catch a whiff and you just pray nobody else is offended by your stank bubble. You don't have to walk around smelling like Bigfoot's Grab yourself some Mando full body deodorant or some Mando whole body deodorant spray. They even have whole body deodorant cream. You have no reason to stink. We absolutely love Mando, and that's why we partnered with them to bring their goodness to you. Look, we're super big into fragrances and colognes, and this stuff smells fantastic. This is bourbon leather, and it smells incredible. There's so many reasons to love it. It's safe to use for your pits, to your balls, to your big old disgusting filthy feet. It was created by an actual doctor who wanted to stop the misdiagnosis and mistreatment of odors. Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. And no, that doesn't mean you can be a degenerate piece of and not shower for real. It helps with odor. It doesn't perform miracles. There's 4 scents. This bourbon leather here is fantastic. They also have Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport scent. So do you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula? Of course you do. You can find them at Walmart, Target, and other retailers across the country. But for the best deals, go to shopmando.com. You can pick up a Mando starter pack. It's absolutely perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping. Free shipping is huge. I've been known not to order $100 worth of stuff because I didn't want to pay $10 for shipping. And if you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund up to 60 days later. That's how confident Mando is that your balls won't stink. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence head to toe with Mando. So moving on, Chiefs fans and now the sports media world are all still completely enamored with this Josh Simmons saga. Could this mystery drag on indefinitely? This one definitely has Chiefs Kingdom scratching their heads, that's for sure. Simmons was nowhere to be seen at the final practice of the week on Friday per Pete Sweetie. He's already missed the Lions game, and with no return in sight, the Chiefs' left tackle spot remains Jaylon Moore's for the foreseeable future.
But why is this situation so shrouded in secrecy? We've got zero concrete answers on when he'll be back or what's truly going on. We said that the Chiefs have fumbled the communication ball hard, fueling wild speculation across the fan base. However, Reed did say this after the Lions game, and we'll admit when we're wrong. We missed this one. Take a listen.
Josh was gone for personal reasons, so
When did you realize or understand you wouldn't have Josh, and when might you expect him back?
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know, when he's back, he's got to take care of that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But we were aware of it. Yeah.
You just learned today, last night.
Does it matter if I?
So yeah, Big Red did say that it was a personal or family matter, and the team did know about it. But when pressed on when they found out about the whole thing, he just laughed it off with a "doesn't matter." That non-answer, it's screaming volumes. Maybe the Chiefs got blindsided, with Simmons alerting them right before bolting from Kansas City. It's the kind of radio silence that's breeding theories and keeping us all on edge. Even on Friday, Andy confirmed that it may not be a family matter, but a personal matter, which again, fuels those conspiracies.
But let's shift focus to the new left tackle in charge of keeping Patty clean, Jaylon Moore, the Chiefs' versatile lineman who's quietly becoming a rock in Simmons' absence. Last week against the Lions, Moore balled out with 40 pass blocking snaps, allowing just 3 pressures, 2 hurries, and a sack. Drilled down to true pass sets, no RPOs, just straight dropbacks, and he surrendered only 2 pressures and 2 hurries, earning a solid 90% efficiency grade. Where he really stood out? Run blocking. On 24 snaps, he posted an 80.8 PFF grade, helping carve lanes that kept the ground game humming. Zooming out, and Moore's amongst the NFL's elite. Through week 6, he's the 6th highest graded run blocker in the NFL at 80.9 with a minimum of 35 reps, trailing only studs like Penei Sewell, Darian Kinnard, Spencer Brown, Ward McClendon Jr., and Jordan Mailata. This guy's not just filling in, he's thriving.
So yeah, that was ex-Chief Darian Kinnard that Mike was just talking about. That's your cue to get down in the comments and sound off on Andy Heck, Brian Parrott. Have some fun, buddy. Now, let's layer in the history that makes this even more intriguing. Moore's faced the Raiders 3 times in his career, all in the preseason, and it's a mixed bag that adds some serious juice to this matchup. Most recently, in 2024 preseason week 3, he logged 14 pass block snaps, but gave up 3 pressures and 3 hurries. Back in 2023 preseason week 1, it was rough. 12 snaps, 3 pressures, 1 hurry, and 2 sacks allowed. But rewind all the way back to 2021, and that's his standout against the Silver and Black. 15 pass block reps with just 1 pressure and 1 hurry surrendered. Patterns like that make you wonder, which version of Moore shows up this week?
And get this, the potential face-off with Raiders beast Max Crosby. It's got college rivalry vibes that crank the drama all the way up to 11 here. Crosby started at Eastern Michigan from 2015 to 2018, while Moore anchored Western Michigan from 2017 to 2020. They clashed head-on in 2018 week 6. Moore held strong with only 1 pressure and 1 hurry allowed, a 98.2% efficiency, while Crosby racked up 4 tackles, 4 hurries, and a forced fumble, but no sacks. Western Michigan edged out the win 27-24. Fast forward to now, and if they line up again, it's a rematch years in the making. Could Moore stonewall Crosby like old times, or does the Raiders edge rusher finally get his revenge? If Moore keeps dominating in the run game and holds his own in the pass pro, especially against a familiar foe like Crosby, it might just buy the Chiefs more time on the Simmons front. But here's what I'm dying to know, and I bet you are too. How long can this Simmons saga stretch before it blows up? And could that situation pair with Moore's hot streak turn him into the permanent answer at left tackle, not only for the remainder of 2025, but beyond? Drop your predictions in the comments. Does Moore shut down Crosby when they go head-to-head Sunday? Let us know.
So now let's get to the Zarda BBQ hot game predictions. Let's freaking go. So in the first Raiders matchup in 2025, I think Patrick Mahomes has a massive game, ladies and gentlemen. We have Rashee Rice back. We have the full wide receiver core out there at his disposal, and I think he's going to take full advantage of it against a weaker Raiders team right now. I'm calling it a Chiefs win, 31-17. I think Patty throws for 4 touchdowns. He's going to have another huge game. And I also think Rashee Rice is going to have a good welcome back game as well. He'll probably hit somewhere between 50 and 75 yards and may have a tutty or 2 of his own. And of course, that all comes with the caveat, if Jaylon Moore can keep Max Crosby at bay, we have to keep Patrick Mahomes' jersey clean and give him plenty of time to work. If that happens, this game is a wrap and it's going to be a long day for Las Vegas.
Yeah, Steve, I'm right there with you. I don't think the offensive line can let the pass rush bother Mahomes. Crosby versus Jawan Taylor is probably going to be the main matchup, but I'm sure he's going to try to slide over to Jaylon Moore and pick on him a little bit because he's pretty much a new starter there. Crosby's played the most defensive snaps in the NFL so far this year with about 375, and he's the 17th overall ranked edge by PFF. So we all know he's a beast. We all know he likes to get under Mahomes' skin, and he fires Patrick Mahomes up and gets him going, Steve. And that's why I believe Patrick Mahomes is going to have a monster day, just like you said. Last week versus the Lions, we run a 11 personnel at a very, very small rate to keep them in a 4-3 defense so Mahomes could exploit the linebackers, and he did just that. Mahomes actually targeted those linebackers 17 times and completed 13 passes for 165 yards and a tutty. And honestly, the Raiders linebackers are not as athletic and they're not as good. Their secondary is probably not as good either. Darnay Holmes, the nickel corner, is 124th out of 171 corners, and he's horrible in the run game. So that's something that Rashee Rice and probably Xavier Worthy could exploit throughout the game. On the defensive side of the ball, the Raiders have allowed a pressure rate of 32.1%, which ranks them number 21 overall in the NFL. Geno Smith has been sacked 18 times this year, which ties for 3rd in the NFL. So I believe Chris Jones is going to have a monster day tomorrow. I could see him having 2 sacks, but I'm giving my MVP to Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs are going to win 34-14. Mahomes is going to throw for 265 yards, probably about 3 touchdowns. I think Rice, Kelsey, and Worthy is going to get a tutty, and I think Kareem Hunt's going to get in the end zone as well. Again, Chris Jones is going to have not 1, but 2 sacks, and the Chiefs are going to roll in this one, baby, and we're going to take care of the AFC West, and this is the first step in doing that.
Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, get down in the comments and let us know what your score predictions are. We always love reading those. Also, let us know what you think about the return of Rashee Rice and how the Josh Simmons situation is being handled.
That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our Raiders-Chiefs pregame at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for subscribing, sharing this with a friend. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.